This is a question that comes up pretty frequently in my practice when you're looking at filing for custody of a child, whether or not you should go through juvenile court and use the dependency and neglect statute, or if you should go to chancery court and get a guardianship order. So if DCS is involved, which it seems like in this case that is not what's happening, I've only ever seen those go through the juvenile court system, so the DNN statute. But if you have a child who is in the custody of another party, sometimes you can go to chancery court and you can ask for guardianship to be put in place so that person can take care of the child and provide all their needs. So some of the reasons you would go to chancery court are when you have a death of a parent, so there's a probate or a will, or death of both parents, if there is a parent who is incapacitated and cannot take care of the child. And then sometimes you can look at abandonment and substance abuse and mental health issues. So those tend to be a little bit borderline and could go either to chancery or to the juvenile court for the dependency and neglect statute. If your case seems to be bordering on whether or not you should go to the juvenile versus the chancery court, you would really want to discuss with a lawyer the specific facts of your case, because everything is very specific to what's going on specifically for this child and what the chancery court or the juvenile court looks at in your jurisdiction. Because every jurisdiction is so different, it really does heavily depend on what that lawyer sees in each court and kind of what goes on historically with that judge. One of the things that would happen in juvenile court if you're filing under the dependency and neglect statute is that the child by statute is required to have a guardian ad litem appointed to them. And if the parent opposes that transfer of custody, then the parent, if they are indigent, can also qualify for a court-appointed attorney. So that can be something to weigh as to whether or not you want to go to juvenile or if you want to go to chancery. One of the other things that you would want to weigh in terms of looking for which court to file in is, based on whether or not you think that it should be in chancery versus juvenile, is looking at the timing of everything. Is it emergency? Is there something that is extremely important that it happened right this second because the child is unsafe or there's something kind of danger? What does the court calendar look like? How quickly can you get in? And some of those things will kind of make it clear as to whether or not you need to file in chancery or juvenile court. If there's a high safety risk, if the child is in danger, that looks more like a dependency and neglect. Whereas if you have a child who's cared for and there's not really any concern about safety, that might be more of a chancery court thing. I know it's not really an answer, but it really does very much depend on the very specific facts of your case. There's not like a blanket answer that you can give to whether or not you should file one or the other. And you really need to discuss with an attorney kind of what that looks like and why you would file in one versus the other, and you weigh those pros and cons. Follow me for more information on family and child custody law in Tennessee.